so too Rangers as well. A turbulent week for the Ibrox side. The fallout from their thrashing at the hands of Celtic in the Scottish Cup semi-final last weekend, dominating the headlines all week. Kenny Miller and Lee Wallace suspended by the club. On the field, what sort of response would we see from Graham Murphy's side against Hearts? Commentary comes from Rob McLean.
Rangers are without keeper Wes Fodringham. Left out are Docherty, Halliday and Morelos. Incoming Anik, Holt, Windass and Cummings. Just the one change to the Hearts team, which beat Aberdeen 2 weeks ago. David Milinkovic is injured. Danish winger Danny Amankwa starts. Cummings for Windass. Now Jamie Murphy is in with a chance. And McLaughlin got a touch on his angled effort. Not the best first touch from Murphy, which took him wide. A section of the Rangers support getting their message across after what happened at Hampden last weekend. These have been testing times for Graham Murphy. Tavernier skimmed off the head of Kyle Lafferty, the former Rangers player. That's Murphy. Dorrans. That's Russell Martin. Oh, it was a chance for the central defender, and he got more on this than he would have wanted. Suter looking for Conor Randall, and James Tavernier got just enough on the header. It's Michael Smith winding up for the long throw. That's better. And wrapping his gloves around it was Anik. I think it was heading wide in any case, but better always a threat at set pieces. Craig Levine's team have soaked up what Rangers have thrown at them so far. Martin with the long ball, Hughes with the header. That's Windass, and that's tasty for Murphy over the top of Suter. Jamie Murphy's cut back. Candias and Jason Cummings, and 1-0. The early second half breakthrough. Rangers have looked much more purposeful since the break. And Cummings scores his 6th goal in blue for the breakthrough at Ibrox. James Tavernier's cross. The clearing header from Aaron Hughes. Stumbling on the ball was Jamie Murphy, but he's on the move now. It's a great run from Murphy, and he's still going. And the shot is blocked. And maybe right at the end of this mazy run, he could have looked up and picked out Josh Windass alongside him. A Dow's header is intercepted by Holt. Murphy marauding down that left side. And finding Daniel Candias to make it 2-0. 19 minutes after the interval, and look what that means to Graham Murphy. His team now well on track for second place in the Premiership. And a show of togetherness on the touchline, led by the goal scorer, Candias. Suter looks for Lafferty, but it was Dorrans who won the header. And there's room to run into for Daniel Candias. And that's useful for Windass. And he tried to catch out McLaughlin at the near post. The goalkeeper responds by turning it around the upright. Joachim Adao. Lewis Moore looking to burst clear of Tavernier. He was fouled, and that will be a yellow card for the Rangers captain. The youngster Moore getting the better of Tavernier. Doncowie with the free kick, and Christophe Berra scores, and he brings this game back to life for Hearts. 71 minutes played and a change of complexion. Rangers look to be cruising. Now they might have a fight on their hands. Berra for 2-1. Here goes Moore again. He's been lively since coming off the bench, and he gets away from Tavernier again, and he finds Kyle Lafferty, And that is so close to an equaliser. Against his old team, the curling effort which clips the outside of the post. Lafferty against Holt. Windass in there as well. And here goes Josh Windass. And Candeas can create something, but he took too long. And back came Berra. And Christophe Berra didn't like that little flick of the boot from Candeas after the ball had gone behind. McLaughlin for Berra. Oh, that's poor from Christophe Berra. And in goes Jason Cummings. He can seal the win for Rangers. McLaughlin makes the save. Berra mops up. But Cummings knows he should have been scoring his second goal of the game. Racing onto the long ball is Jason Holt. Out comes McLaughlin to get his head to it. That's Holt. Morelos is in with a chance. There was a tug from the goalkeeper, and Morelos sees his effort kicked off the line. That's Murphy, and his shot deflected behind. Could so easily have been 3-1 after McLaughlin went walkies, and Michael Smith to the rescue on the goal line, and it stays at Rangers 2, Hearts 1.
Yeah, Rangers back to winning ways after, well, how should we put it, a difficult week, I think probably is the best way. Hibs Celtic, thrilling match. This match, Michael, not so much.
No, especially in the early part of the game, you know, Hearts had come to look for a point almost and contain, and it wasn't a great spectacle. You see, this is within 2 or 3 minutes, and as this ball breaks out to the edge of the box here, Hearts have every player behind the ball. You see Kyle Lafferty comes into the screen here, gets himself back goal side. Every player behind the ball. You know, and you're never really, you know, after what's happened to Rangers.
I was about to say that. Surely this is the perfect time to go right after Rangers from the first whistle, set a marker down. I think the Hearts fans would have been expecting that, but as Mikey rightly pointed out, their game was pretty much about containing Rangers in that first half. Rangers themselves, I thought, struggled to break down a kind of stuffy Hearts defence, and no wonder when you see the amount of numbers and how narrow they're playing. It's very difficult to play through, and I thought that Rangers struggled to break them down in the opening half, but I mean that all changed in the second half. In the second half, I thought that Rangers created far more opportunities. Hearts looked a bit disorganised in that second.
Well, how much credit do Rangers deserve, Steve? We all know it's been a turbulent
Do you want
week.
to know why they deserve credit? Because they were under absolutely massive pressure going into this game from their supporters, and they had to get a result. And in the second half, the performance levels were higher. You see this one here, it's the first goal. Christophe Berra bringing Jason Cummings down.
At this point here, Godinho has to talk to Christophe and tell him to match the runner, and Godinho's got to come round the back with Jason Cummings. The communication in the back line for Hearts there is what causes the problem, and they lose that. And that was a big goal early on in the second half. And defensively, you know, Hearts very sound. That's what they've built their success on. But in the second half here, they were poor. And this is another occasion here where you see Lewis Moore. Christophe's telling him to get back in on Candeas. He's never going to make that up. He's better talking to Aaron Hughes and telling him to watch Cummings at the front, and he can drop round on Candeas.
What a header it was from
wasn't it?
A really good header and a really good run as well, a really well-timed run. And, you know, in the second half, as I mentioned, I thought that Hearts just lost their discipline and shape a wee bit. And Rangers, I think, in the second half created, you know, something like 23 opportunities in the game. This is obviously a big error from Christophe. Not probably his best afternoon in a Hearts shirt. Jason Cummings will be disappointed in a 1v1 situation that he didn't add to his one goal. The
Rangers fans certainly made their feelings clear as far as this banner's concerned, as we saw in the stands, and you know, they're obviously thinking that they want, you know, things to be. Hearts could have also stolen a point in this match as well. That needs to be noted.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is slack from Rangers. It's a free header for Christophe Berra in the middle of the box. Nobody picked him up. There could have been 3 people got on it, and then just shortly after, you had this opportunity for Kyle Lafferty. Again, you know, question marks over the defending. He's really unlucky to see that come off the post, but you know, that wouldn't have been a fair reflection on the match should Hearts have got a draw out the match, because Rangers were the better side. But Rangers need to be more clinical. They should have seen this game out by 3 or 4 goals.
Let's have a quick look at this Rangers banner, because the fans made their feelings clear about what they thought of things that have been going on at Rangers this week. And then there was this coming together as well of the players, Michael. Daniel Candea seemed to celebrate his goal, almost run past Graham Murphy.
Pointing at the badge, and it's all celebrations now, but you know, he walked up the tunnel last week.
That's 100% right.
He walked up the tunnel and he was disrespectful, but now it's
this is a show of togetherness from Daniel Candea, who got subbed and walked straight up the tunnel last week. Make your mind up. Are you together or are you not together?
He's happy because he scored a goal now. Exactly. It's a bit contrived, I feel.
Yeah.
Very briefly, where does this leave it in terms of Sunday's game?
I mean, look, it's the same position as it has been before. Rangers are very difficult to get a victory against an impressive Celtic.
They've got to show more fight than they did in the last game, that's for sure.
OK, to the wrong side of the split now, Partick Thistle began the day bottom of the table.